Good afternoon and welcome to K24 NewsCut this Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora. Thank you for joining us. And the sign language interpreter is Pauline Budoni. Now taking you through the top stories of the day, where Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has ordered the immediate closure of Greenfields Academy in Mombasa. Magoha was on a tour of the county in the ongoing crackdown of unsafe schools in the country, where the CS said he will continue to inspect institutions he terms are unstable for learners. Parents of students at Greenfields have been urged to transfer the 445 learners to another public institution. Umoja Primary School Management has also been requested by the CS to accommodate the students, and so far 4 schools have been shut following the tragic incident at Dagoretti's Precious Talent Academy, which left 8 dead. Magoha says there are over 1,500 officers on ground inspecting the schools countrywide. This is what he said in Mombasa earlier today, which we will definitely be bringing to you at a later time. And for now, another story that we are going to be following up is a joint funeral service that is currently underway for the 8 Precious Talents Academy victims who succumbed after a classroom wall collapsed on them. The Monday incident left 69 other students injured, with 67 being discharged. The school has now been closed down and investigations ongoing. Let's cross over to the memorial service at Posta Grounds and listen in.
Imekuja sasa maradufu kwa sababu ya hawa watoto wanane. Kwa hivyo bwana Prime Minister, hata wewe tutakualika wakati tumejenga hiyo shule, ili hiyo jiwe la kumbusho ukuje uzindue, ili tukumbuke hawa watoto miaka daima milele. Ama namna gani? Leo tumesema hatusemi mengi, na hata maneno ya development ya Ngando nitawachia bwana KJ, kwa sababu sitaki kumaliza maneno yote akose ya kusema, sio? Wale ya mwisho yangu kabisa, pia ningependa ya kwamba baada ya sisi kumaliza na haya maneno ya kuzika siku ya leo, tutazika weekend, tutasaidia hawa wazazi. Juzi tulikuwa shule, ile tulitoa, hatutangazi na tutaendelea kutoa tu, hiyo hatusimamishi. Lakini ya muhimu ni kwamba kama vile nimesema mambo ya shule, hiyo shule nikasema isije ikafungwa hata kidogo. Mimi nikawa nasema namna hii, wakati shule tunaenda kurudi kwa shule, sisi pia tutasaidia mwalimu kurudisha yale madarasa ambayo ilikuwa imebomoka, ili watoto wapate nafasi ya kusoma. Ya mwisho, wale watu wa Ngando waliamuka saa 12. Wakaamuka saa 12 na hatujawatambua mpaka wakati huu. Wakaingia pale na kusaidia wale ambao walikuwa wameumia. Wakasaidia kubeba watu. Hiyo jeshi ya vijana iko hapa, na hawajashughulikiwa hata siku moja. Na ndio nyinyi pale, hawa vijana hawajashughulikiwa. Prime Minister, sisi tutachukua jukumu hii tukiwa na KJ. Leo msilete maneno, tumalize mambo ya leo pole. KJ, unifuate kesho asubuhi, tuende tuone hiyo jeshi ambayo ilifanya kazi hiyo siku, wakiambatana na watu wa bodaboda, ili tuwaone kirasmi. Waswahili wanasema mkono mtupu haufanywi nini? Mkono mtupu haufanywi nini? Basi hata hapa Ngando hatutaki mkono mtupu. Tunataka mkono ambayo tunaweza fanya nini? Na si nimemaliza poa? Sebu nipigie makofi kiasi. Sasa na wakati wa vijana wale walifanya kazi, wataambatana pamoja na wamama. Musiwache wale wamama walifanya kazi. Ama namna gani? Very good. Sasa kwa sababu Prime Minister kuna safari, nataka nikimbize. Nitamuita
All right, of course, that is the joint funeral service currently underway at Posta grounds. Now, we'll be giving you more details about that particular story in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, another live event that has been ongoing is, of course, the crackdown on boda boda riders who are breaking traffic rules in Nairobi. And Georgina Mugondu will be giving us more details at a later time regarding what is happening. But for now, Moses Wainaina Police, the owner of Precious Talents Academy, which collapsed, killing 8 pupils, has now been detained for 2 weeks. This follows an application by the officer in charge of the investigations to have the suspect locked up for 15 days to allow officers to complete their probe. The prosecution had indicated that if Wainaina was released on bail, he may interfere with evidence and witnesses. Police have also noted that they are protecting the suspect to avoid an imminent mob justice if he is set free. Accused person, through his lawyer, Maurice Mburu, opposed the applications, saying that Ndirangu has been out without any harm. The lawyer says that the accused person was summoned by DCIO Kabete, where he recorded a statement. He also says that holding Ndirangu without any charges is violating his rights. All right. Moving on to other stories, as we had said earlier on, there is an ongoing crackdown on boda boda riders who are breaking traffic rules in Nairobi. And for a further update, we're going to be patching up with our reporter, Georgina Mugondu, as she gives us the latest from this particular crackdown. Good afternoon to you, Georgina. What exactly has been happening?
A very good afternoon to you, Shiksha. Of course, we are at Uhuru Park. It's an ongoing crackdown that has been happening from yesterday, and we have allegations that there are wrangles between the police, the county police, and of course the city council police, whereby they are told that once the city police arrests a motorbike, they are supposed to take the motorbike to the central police. But now the city council or the kanjos who arrest these motorbikes, they arrest the motorbikes and take the motorbikes to the city council, that is the city hall, and that is where all the wrangles is coming up. Now the boda bodas are telling us that it might be a revenge on the police because they did not adhere to the plans that they had to demonstrate on the issue that they're supposed to demonstrate, issuing a threat or issuing their recommendations that once they are arrested, they're supposed to be taken to the police instead of City Hall. Now I'm joined by there are some boda boda operators who are camping here. Of course, this is a temporary camp for them. This is not their usual place, and they are yet to tell me on their claims and what the crackdown is all about today. So karibu sana.
In fact, my name is Gideon Mumo. Issue imetokea since Wednesday. There's a group kutoka one of our boda boda operators wenye walikuwa issued na demonstration letter from Central Police Station. They were told that they mobilize people who demonstrate for seme that once motorbike has been impounded, isipelekwe kwa Kanju St. Peters, iwe zinakuwa detained pale Central Police Station. Ndio baada ya hapo watu hawakujitokeza. Baada ya kufaili watu kujitokeza, now wakaona kama blackmail. Now they are hitting at us back. As we speak, hapa tuko Uhuru Park, processional way via Serena, then towards Valley Road. Hiyo jia haipitiki. It's not within the CBD. It's outside the CBD, but you are being arrested. Even the police are using our own motorbikes to arrest us. Unashikwa, wanachukua pikipiki yako, then they are pretending that they are motorbike guys. Then wanakuja wanashika, then detain you.
So once wakikuarrest wanakuambia nini before kuarrest? What are your charges? Ama makosa yako ni gani?
Hakuna makosa unaambiwa. Kama saizi crackdown yenye iko, unakutana na more than 20 policemen. Wanakupiga, wengine wanashika, wananyua pikipiki, unashukua na pikipiki yako. Ukiponea unasikia kujia pikipiki yako au Central Police Station. Yeah.
That's one of the border operators. Of course, like I've told you, Shiksha, this is a temporary camp for them because there's a major crackdown on major highways. And remember, sometimes back they said that the crackdown will be on this inside the CBD, but now they are saying that they are being arrested even when they are outside the CBD. So it's a story that you are keeping on toes with it, and we'll be bringing you details as they come up, Shiksha.
Very much for that update, Georgina Mogondu, who has been following up the story with regards to the crackdown on boda riders. Now moving on, where 69 witnesses have been lined up to testify against Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu and his wife Susan Wangari Ndungu and 8 others who are over the alleged embezzlement of 588 million shillings from the county coffers. Now, DPP State Prosecutor Nicholas Muchuku told the court that the prosecution will take 64 hours to nail the case against the governor and co-accused. They also asked the court to grant them 4 hours daily to question the suspects, with the prosecution preparing an inventory comprising of 170 documents. Anti-corruption magistrate Lawrence Mugambi has, however, warned prosecution on disclosing information when witnesses have already testified and urged them to seek leave when they want to introduce new documents. And Waititu's lawyer Gitobu Imanyara has confirmed he received part of the documents on Thursday and they are not ready to continue with the pre-trial. Waititu's wife has asked the court to substitute her cash bail with a title deed, saying she borrowed the money and now a relative wants to put her in a surety on her behalf.
On behalf of the parties, they have been called to come to NCC, and we can confirm SWAC advocate picked, Mr. Ogenda advocate picked.
She also borrowed the money from some quarters, and now there are friends who are now willing to deposit and be sure it is in a matter. And for the same reasons, Your Honor, she is humbly beseeching this court to allow her to deposit the safe title in place of the cash bail. And upon confirming the same, Your Honor, the said cash bail be refunded to her.
In other news, 4 people have been killed and over 600 goats stolen by unknown assailants in Samburu County this morning. The attack occurred at Kawab village in Baragoi, Samburu North Sub-County, barely a week after Rift Valley Commissioner George Natembeya visited Samburu, where he warned pastoralists against owning illegal firearms. Residents are now calling on the government to intervene and end the perennial problem. Samburu North Deputy County Commissioner has condemned the incident and rebuked the herders for attacking the fellows who were also searching for pastures. Meanwhile, 2 police officers in Kilifi County have been accused of shooting and killing a 17-year-old student, Katana Kazungu, last year, were arraigned at a Kilifi court for the hearing of the case in which the duo are charged with trying to conceal evidence. During the hearing before Malindi High Court Judge Justice Ruben Nyakundi, witnesses gave their harrowing testimony of how they were ambushed by the accused, who ordered them to lie down before shooting one of them. Barbara Sombo from the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecution led the witnesses in testifying, while the accused police officers were represented by senior lawyer Jared Magolo. Muslim for Human Rights is enjoined in the case as an interested party. The case continues tomorrow. Now, 2 envoys have called on students in institutions of higher learning to take advantage of the peaceful environment in the country to study and achieve their career goals. Speaking at Mount Kenya University in Thika, the Deputy Ambassador of Israel, Eyal David, and the High Commissioner for Rwanda, Dr. Richard Masozera, challenged students to be innovative, saying that the peaceful environment in Kenya had attracted students from other countries, including Rwanda, and these students came to Kenya to study. Now, Eyal also delivered a public speech to the students. On his part, Masozera praised the good relations between Kenya and Rwanda, which has seen tens of students from Rwanda take their pharmacy course studies at Mount Kenya University, Thika. And of course, as we had showed you earlier on, the joint funeral service is currently underway for the 8 Precious Talents Academy victims who succumbed after a classroom wall collapsed on them. The Monday incident that left 69 other students injured, with 67 being discharged, and the school has now been closed down, and investigations, are ongoing. Let's cross over to the memorial service at Posta Grounds, where opposition leader Raila Odinga is also in attendance.
Pole. Kwa jamii ya Harriet tunasema pole. Kwa jamii ya Whitney nayo pia tunasema pole. Kwa jamii ya kijana mdogo Thaddeus tunasema pole. Na kwa sababu hiyo ndio imetuleta hapa kuomboleza nanyi, tunataka tuhakikishe kwamba vifo vya wasomi hawa 8 havitakuwa vya bure. That these young souls shall not be lost in vain. I would like to talk to the young girls and boys from Precious Talent Academy. Watoto wa Precious Talent Academy, kwa sababu najua mumepotelea kule kwa raia, nikisema watoto wangu mnasema watoto wangu watoto wangu Nataka niwahakikishie hapa kwamba sisi kama uongozi wa Dagoretti, mimi nikiwa mstari wa mbele, tutajenga temporary structure pale kwa shule, nyinyi murudi shuleni. Na hiyo ni ahadi niliwapea juzi na nikawaambia jana kwamba makosa sio yenyu na makosa sio ya shule. Wakati shule ya Kianguli ilipochomeka, watoto wa Kianguli waliendelea kusoma kwa shule. Wakati shule ya Moi Girls ilichomeka, watoto wa Moi Girls waliendelea kusoma kwa shule. Wakati kumepatikana mkasa katika Precious Talent School, watoto wa Precious Talent School wataendelea kusoma ndani ya Precious Talent Academy. Ya pili, tumekuwa na kamati ambayo ilibuniwa na Waziri Magoha, ambayo inahakikisha kwamba ardhi itapatikana pale Lenana School, lile jambo ambalo halikutendeka wakati wa Mheshimiwa Honorable Senator Beth Mugo alilokuwa analifuatilia. Wakati huu, kwa nguvu ya Mungu ambaye anaishi hai, na kwa uwezo wa serikali ya Kenya, na kwa upendo wa wakaaji wa Gando, tutapata ardhi ndani ya Lenana na tutajenga shule ya umma. Zaidi ya hapo, ningependa nitoe shukrani za kipekee. Kutoka siku ile ya mkasa, wana Gando mmeonyesha upendo wa kipekee. The first responders were the community of Gando, wakiwa wanasaidiwa na vijana barubaru ambao wanafanya kazi ya car wash na wale wanafanya kazi ya bodaboda. I would like to give a special thanks to the first responders. After the first
All right, of course, and that is the Precious Talent School Memorial, where 8 students lost their lives. And still on that, parents of students from that particular school have insisted that they don't want their children transferred to other schools. And of course, that is news that is just in. Apart from that, on the ongoing audit on the school's infrastructure, of course, that is going on countrywide, Education PS Belio Kipsang is currently in Nakuru, and he's also assessing some of the schools in the area. And Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has also ordered the immediate closure of Greenfields Academy in Mombasa. Magoha was on a tour of the county in the ongoing crackdown of unsafe schools in the country, where the CS said he will continue to inspect institutions he terms are unstable for learners. Parents of students at Greenfields have been urged to transfer the 445 learners to another public institution. Umoja Primary School Management has also been requested by the CS to accommodate these students. Let's listen in to what he had to say earlier on.
Academy, I think you have been there. We have inspected most of it, and that structure, as you saw it yourselves, is more unstable than even the ones that we have closed in Nairobi. And therefore, I want also to take the blame, because my officers in the field, the quality assurance officers in the field here, must now wake up and get their acts together, and which the government will not accept this kind of laxity in terms of performing duties to our children. So, regrettably, that school and all others. Where is Dwale? Dwale, you are here. Dwale is the regional leader in education in this area, and the TSC person. You are too far away. We are here together, and they are going to continue, first of all, to ensure that any structure that has an illegal upstairs on a temporary building must be shut down immediately. But for today, since I'm in this area, I'm shutting down Greenfields Academy. It has 445 students. And you have come here to this school, this very good school, which is Umoja Public School. Look at it yourself. There are playing fields, the buildings are wonderful, there's enough water, all the teachers are there, and it has an excess capacity that can absorb all those children. So my instructions are very simple, that all those children from Greenfields Academy, please, as media people from here, encourage them to come to this public school. If they require, especially the CBC ones, which are very close to my heart, can we be sure that they get textbooks like yesterday, free of charge, and assist all the others to get whatever they are supposed to get. Even if it requires extra textbooks for the other classes, the government is prepared to give them. Are we together? I would want the media also to help us, because this problem is historical. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm the one who is now here in charge of education. We are going to deal with it squarely, and as we deal with it, we require everybody on board, including you. So if you find a school that, in your view, is unstable and my people have turned the other eye, kindly feel free to let us know. Because I can't pretend to you that I will be able to do this alone. I have to do it together with you. To the community in this area, it is very simple. We love our children. We love our children, and it is because of those children, because of their safety, that we must do what we are doing. They should not be confused with people who are doing business in education. And I would like to say that we are also not condemning private schools. Any private school that conforms to the minimum, to the basic minimum that the government has put aside, will be allowed to operate. Are we together? Is there any question? Because Rain wants us to go. Well, he's asking so far how many schools are in danger. I can tell you that they are going to be significant, because I have personally now closed about 4. I have 1,500 officers in the field. My very quick instruction to them now is that any structure with a double story that is unstable should be shut down immediately. As we put a human face and audit, if you have only a ground floor and there are things that you have to do in order to conform, we might allow you to go to the end of the term and we tell you you must conform to this level, otherwise you don't open in January. I think that's a fair way to go. Anything else? Mungu akipenda inshallah. Me, I move like as a submarine. So I would like to be going without mentioning where I'm going.
All right, of course, and those are the words of CS Education Professor George Magoha. And the government is adamant that the crackdown will continue to happen countrywide. PS Education Belio Kipsang is also in Nakuru. And of course, 1,500 officers are on ground inspecting the schools countrywide. And on that note, it's a wrap. Thank you for tuning into K24 NewsCut. My name is Shiksha Arora, joined by the sign language interpreter this afternoon, who has been Pauline Mudhoni. We'll do this again later on, but for now, make sure that you're tuned in, because coming up next, we have Tony Kolanda with all your sports banter.